Hey Shatley, I think I forgot to wear my nose ring in the intro. Sorry for the jump scare. Welcome to a thought-provoking session of 1.0 Minecraft. Minecraft 1.0? Is 1.0 the first release? Did it go like alpha and then beta and then 1.0, or how does that work? Today, I am going to talk about the importance of taking care of oneself. And I'll start with a little story from today to kind of set the tone, to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So today, I had some free time on my hands, okay? For those of you who don't know, I actually work on my own hours, like I don't have a shift. So that allows me to do things during the day, albeit I don't have much time because I still have a ton of shit to do, but I have some free time during the day. So today I decided, I'm autistic, I have weird interests, I am going to go to the store, smell all their soaps, and use all of their free samplers. You know, the lotion and shit? Like the skincare, lotion, all that stuff, and they have a little sampler out front. I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna use all their samples and smell their soaps. And I did that for like an hour. And I just roamed through the store peacefully, not in a rush, being very intentional with how I spent my time. I did it because I wanted to, and because it calmed me. It was good for my soul, I could say. I was not overstimulated, I was not blasting music, I was not scrolling, I was not consuming content, which is what I would usually fall back on to keep me entertained. No. I went out into the real world and I experienced, I felt. I wasn't just mindlessly consuming, which is exactly what I do oh so often on my phone. Where am I going? What? I spawned in trees and then I immediately left them to find the most barren ass biome possible. I went to the store and I had a good time. And I was very intentional about it. And you know what that is? That's self-care. That's doing something because it's good for my brain. And I feel better after doing it. I'm gonna die of starvation. Okay. Now, self-care isn't gonna look the same for everybody. For example, for me, it looked like going to the store and smelling all their soaps. Is that what your average person would do for self-care? Probably not. But I like it. It makes me feel good. I'm not engaging in short-term dopamine, you know, I'm not trying to get that hit. It's very slow, it's very consistent, it's very, I want to say fulfilling. Not like I'm achieving some huge, broad goal in life by going to the store and smelling soap, but it leaves me feeling a lot more calm and a lot more happy. And every time I do something like this, every time I put aside an hour or two during the day to just do something that makes me feel good, not short term, not like, ooh, I love scrolling reels, it makes me feel nice and stimulated. I'm talking slow and healthy joy. Not even, because I feel like joy is too strong of a word. We need to be more comfortable with being content. And I got no pork, okay. We need to be more comfortable with not being euphoric, not being elated, but simply being comfortable in being okay. You know what I'm talking about? Yet again, no pork, okay? Please? Thank you. In this day and age, there is such a thirst for intense stimulation and constant entertainment. Which makes perfect sense. I mean, with the optimization of social media to grip onto your attention and not let go, literally designed to keep you on it, using psychological tactics, just trying to squeeze all the money possible out of the consumer, it's no surprise that we now chase short-term dopamine, because it's being shoved down our throats. But that's also why I think it's very important to be intentional with what you feed your brain. Because if you're not paying attention, if you just let yourself get comfortable, it's very easy to become a victim of the algorithm. You know, it really occurs on any social media platform I can think of. I know YouTube is pretty bad, although YouTube does have educational content. I love long-form videos, I love educational videos, and I'm no saint. I still watch shorts, and I don't like it. But I try to be more mindful about it. I try to catch myself. I'm gonna die. I try to catch myself when I'm feeling tempted to just start scrolling. Because when I do engage in such behavior, it leaves me feeling so much worse. And then, a habit of doing that will cause you to have lower baseline dopamine levels over time. So then when you're not scrolling, you feel worse, you feel bored, you feel understimulated. So I think it's very crucial to be mindful. The first step to changing anything really when it comes to therapeutic or psychological tactics is simply to identify it, to be aware of it. So the first step to being more mindful with how you spend your time and how much you chase dopamine and try to get that quick fix, that's all going to start with simply identifying it, identifying the behavior. And I also think that coming from a place of shame is not going to lead to healthy, long-term, sustainable improvement. I think coming from a place of, oh, I'm so terrible, I go on my phone so much, oh, I'm such a loser, I need to stop this. Like, okay, you want to better yourself, that's good, but just dogging on yourself, I feel like that's a really negative and unhealthy mindset, and you don't deserve such negativity. Because again, it is largely the fault of the corporations who are trying to squeeze as much money as possible out of us. You are a victim of social media apps. Of course you have free will. Of course you have the power to not engage in such behavior and endlessly scroll. However, it is difficult to do so. It is difficult to delete social media, to not scroll, to have that self-discipline. It's two factors. It's not black or white. It's not that you are in complete control, because yes, social media is very addictive and it's designed to be that way. So it's no surprise if it would be hard to quit. However, you also do have that autonomy. Again, it's two forces. And that's actually good, because it means that you can, in fact, overcome that desire to just mindlessly consume, which I think is too widespread of a trend in today's society. I think there's too much consumption and not enough creation. I think that everybody should be making more shit. Like, if you have any hobby, even if it's not making something, I think just putting yourself out there in the world and doing something, whether that be playing a sport or drawing or filming videos, just doing anything where you're not consuming, I think is so healthy. I lost my crafting table. Where did it go? Hello? Also, I'm no professional. This is just me sharing some thoughts that I've accumulated over the years. In my 42 years of living, I've learned a thing or two. What I haven't learned is how to locate my crafting table. Where the fuck did it go? Oh my gosh, it's gone. Okay. We can start from scratch, I guess. So why don't I tie this back into what I was discussing before? I think there are absolutely ways to find fulfillment and joy in life that do not include just passionately pursuing short-term pleasure. There's nothing wrong with indulging once in a while. There's nothing wrong with going on social media once in a while, watching videos. Like, it's okay. We don't need to be so strict and harsh on ourselves. But what I think is a very good thing is also incorporating healthy lifestyle tactics, incorporating things that make you happy consistently and healthily. Self-care, basically. Engaging in things because they make you happy in a good way, in a way that doesn't lower your baseline dopamine levels. And for me, that's going to the store and smelling the soap. I think being intentional with your self-care is very healthy. Picking a slot of time and saying, okay, during this time, I am going to engage in this behavior because it's good for me and it makes me feel good. You actually can't see shit on my screen. Wow. Oh, it's so dark. Whether that be doing skincare, taking a nice cozy shower, cuddling up with a blanket, even watching a movie, that is much less harmful to your baseline dopamine levels and attention span than scrolling. Even same thing goes for playing video games. If you can't tell, I'm a D1 hater of scrolling. But there are other things too, like drawing. Drawing can be self-care. I just think it is so wonderful to take care of yourself and be kind to yourself, which is what I always say in my outros. That's right. She said the thing. And it's really unfortunate that we live in an age where everything is so fast-paced. You need to be working 24/7. People have 9 to 5s, they come home, they're exhausted. They don't want to get out a journal and then like make a fancy meal. They're tired. They just want to sit down and have that break. And it really sucks that our society is designed that way. We're designed to work for 8 hours, come home, and then mindlessly consume. It's just a really unfortunate setup. And I think we shouldn't put a ton of pressure on ourselves to immediately fix that, because it's hard. It is hard. I think we should highly value small steps. If one day you decide, I'm going to journal for 5 minutes, that's something to be celebrated. I think perceiving this mountainous task of, oh my gosh, okay, I need to fix my entire life. I need to cut out social media. I need to start running for 30 minutes every day. Having these huge goals, I think, would typically make it much harder to actually commence the change, to commence that lifestyle. I think there's a lot of value in starting small, because chances are, if you start with a much smaller goal and you celebrate much smaller steps, you're going to have more sustainable growth. It's a lot easier to tell yourself, okay, I'm going to journal for 2 minutes every day, than it is to say, I'm going to journal for 30 minutes, then meditate for 30 minutes, then go on a 1-hour walk. Like, I think there's a lot of value to valuing small steps. And I think that it is possible for this to be accomplished, even in an age where everything is go, 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 we're all poor. I think it's still possible. For example, one thing that I love about going to the store is the only expense is the gas money. And hell, if I wanted to, I could walk there. I'm not spending any money, and yet I still enjoy myself. I still have fun. It's still nice, it's still calming. I think there are a lot of things that are either cheap or free that we can do to take care of ourselves. You know, self-care doesn't have to be a $50 skincare routine with 17 steps and a face mask and a steamer. It's really not necessary. It can be something as simple as going outside on a walk for 10 minutes. Which I think is very freeing, and it's very comforting, and it's very reassuring. It's good news. Thank you for coming to my philosophical 1.0 Minecraft ramble. Make sure to be kind to yourself, and take care of yourself, and follow my Twitch. Okay? Okay. Bye, twin! Mwah!